Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for another amazing topic of conversation. Before we go into it, I want to thank my sponsors, the Health Channel, and their partnership with Amy by offering conference free doctors and the I Remember Against Genocide bracelet. Today, we have a special guest, and really, I want to thank Ariela. Thank you so much for doing this
Right.
because I know that you're going to help others that are in the same situation as you. And when I heard your story, I wanted to reach out to everyone so that we can help. With your help, other girls can go through, that are going through the same thing, can actually have a little more fun in school. So I'm going to say a little bit. You're Ariela, you're from Mexico.
Yes.
When you were very little, you went to live in Israel for 1 year,
Yes.
and you told me you didn't speak.
No, I didn't speak.
What
Um,
happened?
well, the difference between Spanish and Hebrew is very, very big. And it wasn't a language that I could learn in a year. So I didn't really know how to have conversations or like really interact with people there. So I kind of just didn't really speak much to anyone. And I had a couple of friends from Mexico that went over there with me. So I just stuck to them. And yeah, they were kind of the only people I interacted with for the entire year.
So then you went to live, you came to Miami.
Yeah.
You came to Miami with no language at all.
No.
Like you didn't speak English as well. But what were the other challenges that you were faced when you came here?
I was really, really shy. And also I wasn't like used to like being in one place. Like I had moved a lot. So I was like not really used to Miami. I was really shy. I didn't like to talk to anyone. I went into a school where everyone had already known each other since like they were babies. I didn't speak the language, so I didn't really know how to like kind of fit in there or like how to like navigate the social aspect of it.
And then how did you start finding friends?
I think at first what I did is I would just like look around at who was near me, like who I could reach. And then I would try to find people who spoke Spanish so that I could actually have a conversation with and build friendships with. And slowly, as I started learning English, I kind of opened up more to like the other girls in my class and like, being able to become friends with people who like didn't necessarily speak Spanish.
So Spanish was like your security.
Exactly.
That was like I speak Spanish and you were related. So for any other girl, we just have to learn to find a common denominator.
Exactly. Once you find that like one common thing that you guys can like relate to each other with, I think it will be so much easier to build a friendship out of.
So then you told me once that that middle school was a nightmare.
Yeah, I think everyone can probably relate to this who's in middle school. And that's mostly because people change a lot between, the ages you're in when you're in lower school and then middle school. People become a lot more cliquey and it kind of becomes more of a social competition kind of to see who can have more friends, who can be the prettiest, who can have the most following on social media.
So were you in the same competition like that? Like were you trying to do the same with the
I think,
social media or did you stay back from that?
I mean, I wasn't allowed to have social media until like I was the last one in my grade to have a phone, which was also kind of like a struggle because people were starting to like text each other all day and like all that, and I didn't have that. But I think subconsciously we all were in a competition. Like even if you don't want to participate in it, you are, because it's the environment you're in.
So for example, with clothes, with everything.
Exactly. I mean, my school clothes weren't really an issue because we wore uniforms.
Thank God.
Like, yeah, thank God. But everything else,
Like what was the other part of the competition?
just like who, it was really just who could be the most popular, who could have like the most friends, and like the most people like inviting them to like their birthday parties, or who would have like the coolest things, like the shoes and the bags and all, like the newest phone, just everything.
Everything was a competition.
Everything.
How did you survive?
I think it wasn't until I realized that, you can't get everyone to like you. You think you can, but you really can't. And once you realize that, like, if you have one or two good friends that you can really, really count on and you like being around, that's really all you need. Because the more you chase like popularity, and the more you chase like um material things, and if you want more and more and more, you're just chasing something that doesn't exist. Like, you can't spend your whole life wanting to have more friends, being invited to more parties. It's not realistic. So you're always going to be in a constant state of stress and like unfulfillment.
So were you okay with one or two friends? What that was like what, sixth or seventh grade?
Yeah. In seventh grade, I started to have like a really big group of friends, but honestly, it was the worst thing ever. Because it was like, like two girls would get invited to a sleepover and then the other two wouldn't. And it was just stuff like that that like created a lot of tension and drama. So we were always trying to like exclude one person, or like show the other one up. So it wasn't like a good thing. And I wasn't happy, even though I had a bunch of friends. And at the end, like, everyone ended up getting into a fight and we broke off, and I ended up just being friends with two girls, and they're still my friends and I still love them, and I was way happier.
So you realized that two friends can actually make a difference as opposed to having a huge amount of friends.
Yeah.
And were you okay when, for example, some of the parties you were not invited?
um at the start, obviously I wasn't okay, because it was like,
There was,
again, yeah, it was like, why? You never want to be the one that's excluded. But as time went on, I think I realized, like, I might not be everyone's first choice, but like, not everyone isn't my first choice either. Like the girl who can only invite two, I would get upset when she didn't invite me. But then I would think, like, if I could only invite two, I probably wouldn't invite her either. So I think when you realize that it's like, and not everything is personal. Like, everyone takes everything so personally, I feel like, during those ages. Like, they didn't invite me because they hate me, and I did this and that. But most of the time it's not personal. It's just like they just invited the first two that came to mind, or like just the two that they were with. So just kind of not everything has to become a big fight or an issue. You just have to let it go sometimes.
so what happened? Now you're in high school and you had another major change. You changed
Yeah,
schools again.
I did.
How was that change now?
It was a great decision, I think, because sometimes it's good to get out of the environment you're so used to and the people you're used to being with your whole life, because you kind of get like stuck in a place. There's really no room for growth if you already know everyone and you already know what everything's like. So if you kind of like distance yourself from that environment for a bit and you try to be with new people that maybe don't fit into your bubble, I think you could really learn a lot about yourself and about how to interact with people.
So that helped you a lot in the new school.
Yeah,
Do you have a new group of friends now?
I do.
Well, you know what? You were talking to me about attitude. So tell me a little bit.
I think a lot of the times it really is about your attitude. I know everyone will tell you that, but it's just like if you go in somewhere and are already thinking like, oh, everyone's gonna hate me, or like, ugh, I'm not like good enough, or like I'm not like as good as the other people, people are gonna see you that way. Like even if you don't feel good enough, you have to fake it till you make it. Because the way that people see you is the way that they're gonna treat you. They don't know what's going on inside. They're just going off based off what you project.
So you project a positive attitude, you get a positive response.
Exactly.
But I have to congratulate you because being so shy and overcoming all the changes, not everybody is able to overcome all the changes. And the biggest thing of all is coming to speak to me in a video that's going to go all over.
Right.
So that is amazing. And I really congratulate you for that. And the other part that I was very proud is that being that you were very shy, out of 40 girls, you were the first one to actually text me, I want an internship with you. So that takes guts because a lot of people feel that they cannot approach, that what if I say no? And you actually did it. And now we're going to have an amazing summer.
Right.
So let me ask you something else. You were doing the internship because before you also were doing the internship during the program, the Loving Me More, for
Yeah.
the power of the heels. So, and I know that a lot of things you had to miss because you had to go and get lunch, organize everything. Like literally, this intern stay after the program to help me pick up, set up, but we're nearly 40 people.
Yeah.
So it's like hosting 40 people all the time. But tell me a little bit of what was the program for you.
Um, Honestly, I went into it not really very interested because the way I saw it was like I'm just gonna get an intern and I'm not really a part of it. But because you made us sit in every single talk and like you wouldn't let us not be a part of it, I think I learned a lot of things. I really like that you talked about things that maybe people wouldn't think to talk about, like just kind of like how the way your posture and like the way you talk to yourself kind of changes your whole attitude and everything. I really liked seeing you brought a lot of women that are in power positions to talk to us. And I think that was really important because we don't really get to see that very often. And I think it kind of like shows you that, I can do whatever I want to be. I can be whoever I want to be. Especially also, we had a lot of speakers come in that went through like very real struggles and they were able to like bring themselves to the point where they want to be. So it goes to show that even if I'm like I think I'm at rock bottom or like I could never do that, you can't be like it's hard work, but you can do it.
No, that's totally true. I am very happy that you learned a lot and that you got something out of it. And for everybody listening, if you want to be part of the Loving Me More program, please reach out. Send me a message through Instagram or Facebook and we'll get back to you so you can join the program. What was your favorite speaker?
I didn't have like I wasn't able to sit through the entire conversation because I had to go get the food. But when you brought in the cop, that's the one I like the most.
The commander of the police.
Yeah.
Okay, why?
I don't know. I like the way that she let the girls ask questions that they wanted to know, and she spoke about the topics that like we were interested in rather than the ones she thought she should talk about. And I just liked the way she spoke. I liked the way that she didn't really censor anything, because we were talking about some like difficult conversation topics, but she was able to like talk about it all and like really like, because a lot of people, I think they will censor their words a lot to like not, try to avoid the uncomfortable conversation topics, but those are usually the topics that people want to talk about the most. So I like that she was able to do that.
How was, what did you feel like? Because you come from a whole different background from the other girls that came in. You have nothing in common. Culturally, you come from a different country. Um, they go to a different school. They have their own challenges and struggle because they're girls at risk. So, what was the feeling and what did you feel?
At first, I definitely didn't think that I was going to be able to kind of like build relationships with them because, as you said, like there was so much difference between us. And also, like, I wasn't really interested in doing so because the way I saw it, I was just an intern. Like, I was just there to kind of be in the background. But I think, like, through the activities that we had to do where you were forced to interact, I found that, like, all the other stuff that you just mentioned is really superficial. It's just kind of like outside factors. But when we like actually talk to those people and like to the people that you think you don't have anything in common with, you'll find that like really we all think the same. Since we're all kind of the same age, we're going through the same universal experience. So there's really not that much difference. And I think you can actually make friends with people that you think are worlds away way easier than you would assume.
Yeah, because they also, some of them were very shy and they went through the same thing with you. It was the same, the popular girls, the not the popular girls, and no matter what background you come from,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like you find the common denominator.
Hmm.
So, Ariela, you have no idea how proud I am of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I knew that you were just doing an internship because I know all of you need the hours, but I know that it became much more.
It
And
did.
you are an inspiration for a lot of the girls. So thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else that you can tell them, like any advice? If there is one thing or two things that you can tell all the girls out there that will be listening.
Just kind of like know who you are and know that you will find your place, you will find where you belong, but you can't do that if you're trying to change yourself because you're never going to fit. So just be happy with who you are. Don't change what interests you, what you like, the way you are, because your the, your life will turn out the way it's supposed to.
And if ever you need help, you know that you can ask for help, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Don't feel too like don't have too much pride to ask for help because everyone needs it at some point, and if you don't ask for it, you're not going to get it.
And it's different kind of help. Not
Exactly.
everybody needs
Whatever.
help.
Yeah.
It's literally a different kind of help for everyone. So thank you so much,
Thank you.
Liz. Thank you, everyone. Until next week, and above all, be safe. Have a great day.